Hi everybody, my name is Tyler Ryan and I am going to be presenting Chapter 10, Writing Routine and Positive Messages for Advanced Business Communication. Slide 2, Strategy for Routine Requests. You are going to state requests using the direct approach and open with your main idea in order to be clear with your statement. You want to grab the reader's attention with your main idea in the opening. Slide 3. Tips for routine requests and positive messages. You are going to state the request and main idea, give necessary details for your audience, and close with a cordial request for specific action. Slide 4. Stating your request up front. When stating your request, be sure to pay attention to your tone of voice, assume that your audience will comply with you, and be specific. Slide 5. Pay attention to your tone. Instead of demanding an action, be respectful and show that you care. Using words such as please and I would appreciate will help you show your respect to your audience or readers. Slide 6. Assume that your audience will comply. When you clearly state your request, you can assume that your audience will comply with your request. Slide 7. Be specific. In order to get your point across to your audience, state precisely what you want in your speech or message. Slide 8. Explain and justify your request. If you have multiple requests, be sure to state the most important request first and deal with only one topic per request. If you have a complex request, be sure to break it down into pieces so your audience understands your request clearly. Okay. Slide 9. Requesting specific action in a courteous close. When closing your request, include these 3 elements: a specific request that includes a deadline, information about how you can be reached about any other questions, such as your contact information, telephone number, or email, and an expression of appreciation. Show your audience that you appreciate the time they took to read or listen to your speech or message. Slide 10. Common examples of routine requests are asking for information in action, asking for recommendations, and making claims and requesting adjustments. Asking for information in action, slide 11. When asking for information in action in your request, be sure to include what you want to know specifically or what you want your readers to do, why you're making the request, and why it may be in your readers' interest to help you. Your readers can help you in many ways when asking for specific requests. Slide 12. Asking for recommendations. Before asking for recommendations in your request, you must state why the recommendation is required. After stating the reason why, simply ask the reader that you would like them to write a letter of recommendation for you. This helps since employers love to see letters of recommendation from previous employers. Also, if you are asking for an immediate recommendation, remember to state the deadline with the appropriate return contact information, such as telephone number or email. Slide 13. Making claims and requesting adjustments. When making a claim or a formal complaint or requesting an adjustment, a settlement of a claim, be sure to maintain a professional and calm tone during your communication. This will help your situation get resolved sooner. Also, be specific in your message and provide any information that the recipient may need in order to verify your complaint. Make sure to have sales receipts, invoices, and canceled checks available. Slide 14. Strategy for routine and positive messages. When planning to write routine and positive messages, start with the main idea, usually a positive reply. Provide necessary details and explanation of those details. And lastly, End with a courteous close to your message, such as appreciating your audience's time. Slide 15. Start with the main idea. When messages are stated with the main idea, they tend to include positive replies and keep the reader involved. Be clear and concise with your opening message and provide details shortly after in order for your reader to get a clear understanding. Slide 16. Providing necessary details and explanation. After stating your main idea, provide specific detail and explain your message in detail to the reader. This helps get your point across. If any information is in a negative way, try to integrate it into a positive context. Also, if communicating with a customer, use the body of your message to provide wisdom to the customer. This helps build customer relationships. Okay. Slide 17. Ending with a courteous close. When closing routine replies and positive messages, you can simply end them shortly on a positive and neutral note. When requiring action to take place on a close, identify who will do what and when the action will take place. Also, let your readers know you have their personal well-being in mind. Show them that you respect them and appreciate them. Slide 18. Common examples of routine and positive messages include answering requests for information and action, granting claims and requests for adjustment, providing recommendations and references, sharing routine information, announcing good news to your audience, and also fostering goodwill. Slide 19. Answering requests for information and action. Whenever answering requests with the sale involved, consider these three main goals: to respond to the inquiry and answer all questions, to leave your reader with a good impression of you and your firm, and to encourage a future sale. By using a prompt, gracious, and thorough response, it will influence how others think about you and the firm you represent. Slide 20. Granting claims and requests for adjustment. When responding to mistakes made by your organization, be courteous and have a reader-focused attitude. Focus on the reader when responding and acknowledge your mistakes. Take these steps into consideration when responding to complaints. Acknowledge receipt of the customer's complaint or claim. Sympathize with the customer's inconvenience or frustration. Take or assign personal responsibility for setting matters straight. Precisely explain how you resolved or plan to resolve situation. Take steps to repair the relationship, and follow up to verify that your response was correct. Okay. Slide 21. Acknowledging the customer's complaint. When you personally acknowledge the customer's complaint, it shows the customer that you are loyal to them and do not want to lose their business. It shows that you can be trusted with solving any complaints that the customer may have. This helps build good relationships with customers. Slide 22. Sympathize with the customer's inconvenience or frustration. Although customers may be upset or frustrated with the mistakes that took place, it is best to simply apologize and let the customer know that you care about them and the business that they provide you with. Slide 23. Take or assign personal responsibility. Admitting to your mistakes and taking full responsibility shows the customer that you personally did not mean to make the specified mistake. This also tells the customer that you are being honest and telling the truth as to what mistakes were made. Slide 24. Explaining your plan. When you explain to the customer of how you plan to resolve the problem, it tells the customer that you are dedicated to fixing the problem any possible way you can in order to satisfy the customer. Slide 25. Taking steps to repair relationships. When you take initiative to solve the customer situation, it helps you and the customer bond more in a way, since you are staying in contact with them with how the situation is being resolved. When the situation is resolved and both parties are happy, it allows for the customer to keep giving you their business. With repairing customer relationships, it tells people who are not customers that you really do care and are a loyal business towards all of your customers. Slide 26. Following up to verify responses. It is crucial to follow up with the customer on your plan to fix the situation, since it keeps them in the loop of what specifically is happening with their situation. It allows the customer to have a closer relationship with your organization, since they are right there being notified of everything that is taking place. Following up also helps the customer stay satisfied with the resolution. The customer can voice their opinions with the follow-up and give you insight of how they feel about the situation. Okay. Slide 27. Providing recommendations and references. If you write a letter of recommendation for information about a job candidate, be sure to have a main goal of convincing readers that the person being recommended for the job has all qualifying characteristics needed. A successful recommendation letter includes the candidate's full name, the position the candidate is seeking, your relationship to the candidate, facts and evidence relevant to the opportunity and candidate, a comparison of the candidate's potential, and your overall evaluation of the candidate's suitability for the opportunity. Slide 28. Sharing routine information. When sharing routine information, state the purpose at the beginning of the message and briefly mention the nature of the information you are providing. Provide necessary details and, as always, end the message with a courteous closing. Okay. Slide 29. Announcing good news. To develop and maintain good business relationships with consumers, businesses have turned to good news announcements. These announcements provide the consumer with positive messages, such as opening new facilities, introducing new products or services, or sponsoring community events. With good news announcements, it provides a pattern of positive messages to the consumer. Good news announcements are formatted as good news, followed by details and a positive closing. Slide 30. Fostering goodwill. All business messages should aim towards positivity that encourages people to build good business relationships. Sending congratulations, messages of appreciation, and offering condolences tell the reader or consumer that you and your organization are geared toward respecting others and communicating and operating with positivity. It shows that you honestly care about others and the business that they bring to you. Also, fostering goodwill is one of the greatest traits to have in an organization. It allows your employees and yourself to have positive attitudes, as well as sharing the positivity to your readers or consumers. Slide 31. The question. Writing routine replies and positive messages play an important role in the business field. What are some tips that can help you effectively write routine replies and positive messages? Thank you very much, and have a good day.